There's no denying that Chris Cuomo is in hot water. The primetime anchor has been suspended indefinitely by CNN after it was revealed how involved he was in helping his older brother Andrew deal with sexual misconduct allegations that led to the then governor of New York resigning from office. A CNN spokesperson said, "The New York Attorney General's office released transcripts and exhibits Monday that shed new light on Chris Cuomo's involvement in his brother's defense. The documents, which we were not privy to before their public release, raise serious questions." While Cuomo had admitted that he offered his brother's staff advice during the time, he failed to admit to his, quote, greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts to fight back against the accusations, according to CNN. The documents, which were released by the New York Attorney General, showed numerous messages proving that Cuomo played a big part in his brother's defense strategy, and even used his connections as a journalist to feed the former governor's team information about the accusers.
It's embarrassing. But I understand it. And I understand why some people feel the way they do about what I did.
Cuomo added, "It's the last thing I ever wanted to do was compromise any of my colleagues and do anything but help." Although some viewers have expressed that they're upset that Cuomo has been taken off the air, many are calling for him to be fired immediately, including former The View co-host Meghan McCain, daughter of the late Senator John McCain. Addressing CNN and their stockholders, she wrote in an opinion piece for the Daily Mail, "In an era where public trust in the media is at historic lows, how can you ethically and in good faith continue to employ a man who is little more than a mouthpiece for his brother and the Democratic Party? A man so devoid of morals or journalistic standards that he used his connections in media, and one can assume at his home network CNN, to find dirt on women who have credibly accused his brother of sexual harassment." McCain went on to suggest that if Cuomo isn't fired, then the press should turn its attention to CNN President Jeff Zucker and, quote, delve deeper into exactly why the president of his network is so hellbent on protecting Chris. The late Arizona Republican's eldest daughter has spoken out against the Cuomo brothers before. In August 2021, she lashed out at Chris's failure to talk about the sexual harassment accusations against his brother on his primetime show.
You want to talk about nepotism? Not having to talk about the biggest scandal in the country when it has to do with your brother and you're hosting CNN. That's nepotism.
In addition to calling for Andrew, who was then the governor of New York, to either resign or be removed from office, McCain also insisted that Chris should face retribution for his failure to report on the scandal. However, some viewers thought McCain was being a hypocrite for accusing Chris of nepotism, considering her father is the late Senator and 2008 presidential candidate John McCain. One Twitter user posted, "Meghan McCain going off on the evils of nepotism on the last week of The View. Is this a subconscious self-own?" While another wrote, "Meghan McCain was projecting with that nepotism comment. You know we look at you as the poster child for nepotism. Hush." Although Meghan McCain is unhappy that Chris Cuomo hasn't been fired from CNN after the primetime anchor was suspended indefinitely by the network, she was quick to point out in her Daily Mail piece, "There are good people who work at CNN, people whom I like and trust to deliver my news and commentary." She specifically signaled out S.E. Cupp, Jake Tapper, and Van Jones, writing, "They all work incredibly hard and deserve better than to continue to have their careers tainted because they share a company byline with a liar and a fraud." And McCain is not the only media figure with harsh words for Cuomo. In fact, many have posted their desire to see the journalist lose his job. Nick Thompson, CEO of The Atlantic, posted, "Chris Cuomo betrayed his profession to help his brother. He should resign. If he doesn't, CNN should fire him." And Robbie Suave of Reason posted, "Chris Cuomo must resign or be fired by CNN. His involvement in helping his brother navigate the accusations was far more extensive than he let on. It was an ethical lapse and betrayal of his viewers." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about the latest hot topics are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.